India was always known as the Sone ki Chidiya, the golden bird. Down south, Sri Lanka was also called Sone ki Lanka, the golden Lanka. But very few people realize that the gold which came to India was from South India. Nobody knew how to make as much of gold in this country as the South Indians did. And this is a story of the gold making part of India, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. This is RN Bhaskar. Welcome to my channel, Bhaskar Ki Business Baatein. And once again, once a month, we talk to you about a big story on business that very few people know about. South India was brilliant at collecting gold, at earning gold and amassing gold. And what it did is a story that we will talk about. Simultaneously, you had Sri Lanka, which is also called Sone ki Sri Lanka, the golden Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka and South India had one thing in common, the Tamil population. And this story has a few lessons for us, which we'll come to understand as the story progresses. The first lesson is that when people live together, irrespective of caste, creed and color, business grows amazingly. Second lesson, you have to go beyond the shores of India to find wealth. Unlike other countries, America, Europe, which went to other countries and grabbed wealth, India did not grab wealth. India earned wealth. And that is one thing that differentiates the West from the East. India was always a wealth generator, not a wealth grabber. Even America had a reverse colonization because it's slaves who earned the money that America got. India was an amazing country, but that is because people lived together, worked together. And to understand the story, some dates are very important. Remember, Buddhism came in 600 BC. Even when Buddha was alive, he went to Sri Lanka twice. And he went by the sea route into Sri Lanka, which means the sea route was popular. It was vibrant in 600 BC. Second, all the people who went by the sea were not Hindus. Hinduism believed that crossing the seas was inauspicious. So when Mahatma Gandhi, Lokmanya Tilak went overseas, when they returned, they had to go through a purification ceremony known as a Shuddhikaran. In India, boats were good for rivers. So you have Lord Ram coming down after Ayodhya, moving around to the south on his Vanvas. At that time, he crossed the rivers, the Kevat was there, it was allowed. But when he reached Kanyakumari to save Sita, the sea goddess told him, no, you can't go this way. It is forbidden, and he had to build a bridge. And because the seafarers went on the sea, to the sea regularly, they were not Hindus. When Buddha came into existence, and then Mahavira, many of the kings in the south converted to Buddhism or to Jainism. And then around 600 AD, you had one of the big Indian kings in South India converting from Jainism to Hinduism. Adi Shankara came into being around the 8th century AD. And Adi Shankara was a man who said that, look, Buddhism is becoming competitive. We have to grow our numbers. And he co-opted all the coastal people into Hinduism. So there was a conversion to Hinduism. In the meantime, between Adi Shankara and 600 BC, many people joined Islam because Islam was 600 AD and Adi Shankara was 800 AD. These are dates that you have to remember when you're talking about South India, when you're talking about culture, when you're talking about religion. But the beauty was, irrespective of whether you're Hindu or you're non-Hindu or you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, everyone worked together. So what do they do? Around 600 BC to 300 BC, maybe to 1 AD, there were very few ports on the western side of India, which is Kerala. So all the boats were plying from the Chennai, what is known as Tamil Nadu today. It was called Tamilakam in those days. The boats would travel on the eastern coast and sometimes travel all the way through the Ganges up to the central plains to pick up wheat, which they would bring to Tamil Nadu, what is now Tamil Nadu, and then give it for exports to the Romans. The Roman ships would come to the Kerala side, then do a land trek across Kerala into Tamil Nadu, and on the way pick up the spices that they liked very much, picked up the silk that they liked very much, picked up pearls that they liked very much. And these three were then put on boats on the Tamil side and taken round the Park Strait onto the Kerala side where the Roman ships were there, and they were put on Roman ships and they went there. By 300 AD, even the Kerala side became vibrant, and a port called Muziris became the most important port, which from where goods were taken, all the spices were taken, all the silks were taken. The silk could travel by land from the Tamil Nadu side to the Kerala side, put on ships of the Romans and taken out. By that time the Romans also realized that they didn't want Arabs. Arabs charged a hefty commission. So the Romans put up a garrison in Muziris, and in Muziris they kept the garrison there just to make sure that Arabs were kept out and there was a direct trade between India and Rome. Okay, this was trade. The Romans wanted to give us a fabric and various other things, but Indians did not want any of them. Indians were interested only in being paid in gold. They wanted gold and nothing else. So the Romans thus paid them in their gold coins, and those gold coins were called sesterces, sestercs. These are Roman gold coins. Each gold coin was a big gold coin between 25 grams to 28 grams. And listen to what Pliny the Elder had to say in the records that he wrote of Rome and its trade. In 77 AD, Pliny the Elder wrote that India is the world's sink of precious metals. All the precious metals go to India. How much metal? This is going to be astounding. In Pliny's records in 75 AD, he writes that in any year, at least 55 million sesterces were given to the Indians, which they carried back home. What is 55 million sesterces into 25 grams? When you multiply that, you find that it becomes almost 1.3 million kilos, which means 1375 tons every year after year, for 100 years. And how big is 1375 tons? Huge. Today the entire gold reserves of the government of India is just 822 tons. Indians sent out silk, sandalwood and spices. Black pepper was a hot commodity. It was sent to Rome, and Rome paid this money. By around 100 BC, Rome got a little worried, and they told the senators to ask their wives not to buy these things, that the treasury of Rome was getting depleted. But the wives didn't listen. By around 1 AD, Rome had to pass an edict banning the import of spices, silk and anything else. Nobody listened to the ban. By about 300 AD, Rome realized it had no more gold left. So after 300 AD, almost all the coins that are made in Rome were made of base metal because they had no more gold left. If there's anyone who bankrupted Rome, it was India. And India would get the silk from China, and the Tamil boats would go right up to China and come back, and they would give it out. Trade began as early as 600 BC, kept on going. The peak was 300 AD. After that, it tapered off because Rome had no money and we were not interested in being paid in base metal. How much money was there in India? All the gold was kept in India. Except when Kanishka came down to the south, took the gold, whether it's plunder or whether it's taken, we do not know. He took the gold to the north, melted the gold, reminted coins with Kanishka's stamp on it, and these are known as Kanishka's gold coins. The wealth, the gold was in India. A proof of that was when, around 1750, the Dutch tried to enter India, and Marthanda Varma was the king of Kerala at that time, or Travancore at that time. He trained an army, so when the Dutch came, it beat the Dutch so badly that they ran away from India. The Dutch went and built a colony in Sri Lanka. They were too scared to come to India, thanks to Marthanda Varma. Marthanda Varma was so happy that he gave all his money to the Padmanabha temple, which till today is managed by the Varma family. And he built a 32-kilo statue of Vishnu. That is how the name Padmanabha comes in, because Padmanabha is a name for Vishnu. And he told the temple people that Vishnu has saved us. We drove the Dutch away. And today, when a first inventory of the temple world was carried out, they found that the first hall out of 12 had gold worth about 100,000 crores. This was more than what Tirupati had. India was a money generator because it allowed people to bring in money. Today, India has driven gold underground, first through the Gold Control Act, which was repealed later, and now through the excessive duties and all kinds of rules and regulations. The government is actually teaching India how not to generate wealth. To generate wealth, you need to be light in the rules, light in your controls, and trust the Indian's penchant, the Indian's ability to generate wealth. India is a wealth generator. Don't make India lose that ability. Thank you once again for watching this video of mine. Do click on the subscribe button, and I hope you'll come back again for more information that you are likely not to get anywhere else but here.